All right, so you found hopefully the correct video. This is 3.2, the rest of that lesson. And so we're going to finish it up, and we did example A, B, and C. And look, when you do your homework, expect your homework and your work to look like our work here, right? Look something like that, right? Now, you don't need the big arrow and the check, but it should look like that. And the stuff on the right is what you should be thinking. So you don't need the stuff on the right. You should be thinking the stuff on the right. All right, so look at D. So again, you look at D and your first decision is, all right, what is multiplied times the variable? And I hope you say a negative 5/3. That's what's multiplied times the variable. Therefore, I have to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is what? And I hope you're thinking 3 over negative 5. All right, make sure you're thinking. Don't be a copier. All right, so let me take my black here and let me reset the problem. I got the 7 to equal. I'm going to give some space so that I can multiply this side by the reciprocal. Okay, so there's the original, right? So because what I'm moving is on the right, I'm going to start on the right. And I'm going to multiply the right side by 3 over negative 5, right? And whatever I do to one side, I have to do the exact same thing to the other side. And again, a lot of students like to put the whole number over 1. You don't have to. Some like to. Okay, so let's look and see where we're at. On the right-hand side, negative 5 divided by negative 5, they cancel out, right? That's 1. 3 divided by 3, they cancel out. That's 1, and we're left with x. Good. We've isolated the variable, right? That's what we're after. Okay, now we need to finish up this side. All right, this is an interesting one. There's no reducing. So it's going to stay a fraction. So you're going to go 3 times 7 is 21, and negative 5 times 1 is a negative 5. One last thing. To be excellent, we don't want to leave a negative in the denominator. So we're going to put that negative in the numerator. That's the exact same thing, right? Because remember, what's a negative divided by a positive? That's a negative. What's a positive divided by a negative? That's a negative. And so we'll simply put the negative in the top. That's just a fine little detail. And there's our final answer. Okay? So you can get a fraction. That'll be the possibility sometimes. All right, here's our last example. So again, you got to be careful here. What are you trying to move? What are you going to move? And I hope you say the negative 1/4. Right? That one's not shown, but we know it's a negative 1x. So we're going to multiply both sides by 4 over negative 1. So again, just for clarity's sake, I'm going to rewrite what I have here. I'll write in the 1. I'm just going to do it all in black for time's sake. Equals, and then 5/6. Right? Again, you can pause the video to catch up if you're a little slow in writing. So I have the exact same thing from up above. I want to multiply the left-hand side by 4 over negative 1. And whatever I do to one side, I'll do the exact same thing to the other side. Okay, so in this one, the negative 1's divide out, good. The 4's divide out, good. I'm left just with x. Excellent. All right, be careful on the right-hand side. We can actually reduce this problem. A 4 is a 2 times 2, and a 6 is a 2 times 3. And our 2's divide out. Okay? We'll talk more about this when we get to the chapter on fractions coming up real soon. All right, 2 times 5 is 10 on the top, and negative 1 times 3 is a negative 3. And do we leave our negative in the bottom? Right? Remember on the last problem we just learned to go ahead and put our negative in the top for the best final answer. X equals negative 10/3. All right? That's the idea. That's the concept. All right, so I got a few more word problems here. Just a couple. All right, so let's deal with a couple word problems. Let me use my shade here so we can focus our attention. All right, so we've got 4 times a number is 36. All right, don't forget to NTV. So what we need is to name the variable. So we'll call the number n. If it doesn't tell you the variable as we talked about, you could say whatever you want. Now, on these, the is, remember, is the equal sign. So there's the equal sign. Is what? 36. Okay, so far so good. How would you do 4 times? That means that's the coefficient. So look what we got. 4n equals 36. Make sense? Okay, this is easy to finish. What do we have to move? The 4. How do we move it? we'll multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So we have a 4n equals a 36. I'll multiply the left by 1 over 4, and I'll multiply the right by 1 over 4. You can see on the left the 4's divide out, right, isolating our variable. And again, you can put that over 1. What's a 36 divided by 4? And the answer is 9. Now, I'm not so interested in the answer. You could play around in your head and say that, oh, the number must be 9. What we're interested in is you learning how to write the equation and you learning how to mathematically solve the equation. That's what we're after. The answer isn't the big deal in a problem like this because we're using easy things to help train you. It's the method we're trying to teach you. All right, one more. Last one. 1/6 a number is 8. So again, we're going to NTV. All right, so we'll call the number n. All right, can you see the equal sign? There it is, right? The is the equal. The is what? 8. 1/6 a number. All right, 1/6. That's real easy, right? 1/6 a number. 1/6 n. Do you see how to finish this? Yeah, things multiplied times the variable. You multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So there's the original, right? And what would you multiply the left side by? And I hope you're thinking 6 over 1, and what you do to one side, do the same to the other. Look at what happened on the left. We got our n all by itself, right? Good. 6 times 8, 48, and there's your solution. Okay? That's the idea, guys, and that's what we're dealing with. So again, over the weekend, if you'll take care of page 96, 7 through 10, 15, 16, 19, 20, 23, 26, 31, 36, 51, 52. And remember, the work doesn't take long at all, just a couple seconds to do the steps. Remember, our work goes down. Just follow your notes and get in good equation solving practices now, and it'll serve you well the rest of your math career. All right, I hope you have an awesome weekend.